Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
On Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Oh, the video doesn't loop. That's okay. We'll go into the intro now. Turns out, let's try this.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast.
It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the social medias in the Hampton Inn in Adrian, Michigan. Yo, Adrian. Make a Jack joke, get it out of the way. We have with us coming from the lobby. Are you in the lobby?
I'm in the breakfast area.
You're in the breakfast area also at the Hampton Inn in Adrian, Michigan. It's the Dutters.
Hi, my cup is very tall.
And from the Pod Cave back in the greater Pittsburgh area is Dave Potter. Dave Potter, how you doing?
Doing good.
Excellent.
I have something smaller to drink out of.
Oh, good.
which kind of makes sense. You know, Katie needs since she's tall, she needs a tall cup.
Oh,
I'm not
oh God, my light just fell. Oh no, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. I was trying to reposition.
We're all good
it
here. Everything's fine.
No, everything's fine.
Everything's
We're
fine.
live, pal. We're live. I should plug my computer back in. Oh no. Okay. We're remote. We're out here for Formula. For Formula SAE EV, the electric vehicle edition of it. We're going to be doing a live stream this week on SAE University Programs YouTube page once again. So we actually just got off the call we're having our touch base meeting with all the crew that's going to be out here. About 50% of them are going to be brand new for this event, so that'll be exciting. But also there's plenty of people that have done this before in some fashion, and we have a lot of fun with it and everything. I have no sounders. Apologies to Kid Mental this week because we are on Riverside. If you see it looks different, sounds different. Also, I'm on AirPods. I forgot my little Zoom, and I was like, well, that's okay. I got the big boy here for production from the studio. And it doesn't work with this. It works if I want to do a multi-track recording, but not if I simply want to plug it in and use it as an adapter to plug good microphone headsets into a podcast. I'm mixing levels, and it doesn't seem to work. Like missing levels of technology. We're going to get to our awesome things of the week here. Podner, would you like some unboxing?
Ooh, always.
I've been so busy. I don't really have it because we came in at our plane was delayed. What did we come in 1:30 in the morning Monday morning from Maryland for Baja, and left
yesterday morning. Don't even be like.
Oh my God! Yesterday morning. I was basically home for not even 36 hours maybe. Mm-hmm. And we're here now. So. We're going to do an unboxing because everything that I forgot at the last minute came into the Amazon locker. We're down from Adrian College. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. Probably not. So we're going to unbox my stuff. What does Thor get at the last minute when he needs to And this is not counting the air mattresses I got for the Airbnb because I couldn't get one with enough beds. So, what does Sorg get in the first? Oh, there's multiple things in here. This is like Christmas, except I paid for everything.
The ASMR is terrible.
Oh, I'm sure. This is mostly ponchos, because although now there's no rain in the forecast for the 2 days we're shooting, we have a ton of ponchos. So, oh god, this is probably really bad. Then we also have, oh no, Dave went away. Dave, are you gone?
I'm still
blame
here.
him.
I'm still here.
All right, let's let that go away. That gets weird. Let me know when you come back so I can turn that camera back on. Wait, are you still here? Did I make you go away? Go away? Oh, no,
Did you kick him out of the podcast?
I think I did kick him out of the podcast. No, he's there. He's in the backstage now.
I'm here.
Okay, now he's back. That was weird. Okay, we're still learning Riverside as we're going here. Well, I'm going to put him backstage for a moment until he figures out what he's doing there. We also have a bunch of short SDI cords because I just threw a little. Katie, did you notice that there were SDIs hanging out of the trash bin next to the awards ceremony last week?
Yes, they were garbage for many reasons.
I was right beside the line where they were doing lunch, and I was testing. And I'm like, nope, that's not good. Nope, that's not good. And I was like doing the wiggle test, and I was like, oh, not doing that on a important live stream. So that was all one bag. So they did group some stuff, even though I ordered all of this individually as I thought about it yesterday packing. Okay. Bag number 2. This is exciting podcast work. So yeah, so I get like, those are like probably 6 or 10 footer, those SDI cords, just like little connectors and things. Just some, like we call it, glue to kind of patchwork up everything. What do we got here? These are, I'm going to put this away as I go. These are going to be helpful because we have the wireless units, right? The Hollyline Cosmos, and we need to attach them to things. And we use this like, we've had to, like, at RWA we can't do a hard cam thing. Let's see if Potter could come back. Let's see if we got him back. Is he back? There he is. Hey, could you hear us while you were in the backstage?
I did, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So you're not missing the show. So I just needed, I just, things happen to these two, and we start losing. Oh wait, where's the rest of it? Oh, this is just one of them. Okay. So basically, this goes on here. We got a little clamp, and then we have one of those. This goes on here, and it's a little kind of, one of those kind of ball joint, like movie things. And you can put a camera. It's got the usual thread for like a camera or something, which the Hollylands use, and then we just click that on something like the side of the convenience store or merch stand or fences out there, because we have to kind of work around things. We have wireless, but there's a lot of fencing because it's a NASCAR track. And by the way, a NASCAR track that there was the yearly NASCAR race was 2 weekends ago. Well, just over a week ago, I guess, at this point, out there, and there's people on track for our event today. So yeah, that goes together like that. We use these a lot lately. When we get in places where we can't put a tripod to put a camera, or in generally for, what we need to do for, attaching, our wireless units and put them in interesting places that we need to do for one function or another. So we actually end up, we're putting the Cosmoses on a fence and running a cord through because we're out on the track where we're set up, and that gives us a little bit of like, we don't have that fencing creating a Faraday cage between us and the wireless unit. So we're going to be doing a lot of more work to kind of secure that, just like make it a little tighter than we did last month. It's just a little bit of. What's that, Dave?
I wasn't sure because I'm a little familiar with the Michigan International Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if the fencing would be too close to Faraday, or if it's like wide enough open.
I think it's just
it might.
Going through it, I think
Okay.
I think the fencing, the metal, just messes with the signal on those things. So there's actually another fence that lines, so spectators aren't up on that safety fence.
Right.
So
Which
kind of
makes
situation,
sense.
and we're attaching that inner fence on the infield in order to do that. So so that's what these are. I just figured, just to be safe, I could not locate. We're using more of them this month, so just to kind of separate things and not have receivers like close to each other and trying to put them in different places. So we're playing with that a little bit and trying to make it a little bit better. I think we were like 80% there for what we want to get to, at least what the goal was last month. And it's a lot of unknowns. You have to figure out as you go, and that's kind of what we're good at, is figuring that kind of stuff out and make sure we're better than we were last time. So we're pretty good on that. I got two more of this exciting thing. I think this is media. I'm thinking the last couple are going to be a little less exciting. Hopefully we have the right ones, and I'm going to test them here at the show. Yes. Hey, you want to know what $500 in SD cards looks like? There you go. There you go. We have, we got 3 of them for the cams out on live stream, and then 2 of them for redundancy on our main capture camera for the highlights. So there you go. We got we switched to Canon-wise. I've been SanDisk forever, and I don't know what happened. Katie, you remember we went to the first Aero Design out there in Van Nuys, California, and yes. I opened those things up, and they were weird. Like, I got one, and it didn't look like it was going to get there in time, so I ordered another batch. They were not coming from direct; they're coming from resellers, and like they're the same thing. They were like 512 cards, the Extreme Pros, but remember the fonts looked different on each of them, and one of them had. Yeah, one of them had a UPC sticker on the back and said old version. I was like, okay, that's interesting. We took them off, took them apart, opened them up, and I'm like, I've never had to test cards before I go to an event. Buy cards, slap them in, let's go. None of them would read. I tried both batches, and eventually I'm just like, I have no cards. I had a couple with me to get through the day, and we're going to Best Buys, and I'm grabbing 128s, and we had to do a live stream. And I have to capture, 8 hours first day, 5 or 6 hours the second day, and it was like it was terrible, honestly. So that's where we're at. So I'm gonna slap those into a camera, tail. So I gotta bring the camera up and deal with that. This should be my hard drive. The other thing we do, and this is good, I think, just project management in general, we've kind of gotten to the point where we just buy a hard drive for video side. I think, Katie, you have probably about a hard drive per season, if I'm not mistaken.
Now.
Now, yeah. So, and that's just for photography, right? And we're doing 4K video over here and everything. And so we've been just grabbing a new hard drive and trying to kind of. I'm looking to get a server. Maybe in the off season here, as if there's an off season at this point. 4 terabyte T7s, the portable SSDs, Samsungs. I know I won't mess around. SanDisk has, we all know the SanDisk Extremes became an issue about a year or so ago. So to me, they lost my trust. Samsung hasn't done me wrong yet, so we're going Samsung for the hard drives for the SSDs. They're a little more of that kind of semi-pro kind of deal, from what I can tell. And they've been pretty great. Haven't had any issues, slow down, or anything else, and they are because I am clumsy. 2 meters drop resistance. So there you go. That's all I need. They got their warranties and everything like that. Samsung portable SSDs T7s. We've been getting the 4 terabytes, especially on weekends like this where we're doing a lot of content. Because the streams that we're doing, we're going to be streaming on the SAE University programs. I don't know why I didn't feature myself on this one to show all the boxes and everything. But anyways, yeah, we'll be live streaming. Looks like starting about 10 or 10:30 a.m. with events on Friday for Dynamics. There'll be 3 separate events throughout the day. And then endurance is going to start, I think, about 10 a.m. on Saturday, and that's and again, these EV cars, and we're just talking on the call about like how it's going to be eerie. I got better microphones on the cameras, but you're not going to hear much. It's going to be kind of whirring and like the screech of the tires for the most part. For the most of the day, there's less vroom. There's less going on there, so I'm kind of curious how that's going to come off on the sound on the feed, so we'll see how that goes. So I do miss. It was always interesting because EV used to be a part of, like, they still did internal combustion at the second event and then started introducing EV. So we would get to the point where we went through all the endurance cars. And they do something like 11 laps, trade driver, and then 11 more, and make sure the car can make it through those laps that they do on the course. It's not the entire raceway. It's just kind of a coned area out on one of the straightaways. And I remember they would always like get to the last IC one, so all the engines are done, and then here come the quiet EVs coming out, the electric cars, and it was just like a weird like the mood shifts when they come out, right? Or they'd be intermixed throughout the day when we were doing the dynamic events, because they're kind of first come first serve throughout the day as you prepare, kind of thing. So we're just like, okay, it's in the 200s. This is an EV. It's going to be a quiet one. You're not going to hear them rev up and take off, So it's a kind of a different kind of vibe to it. So it's very interesting. So a lot of fun. Glad to have my stuff in, kind of deal. And Katie, do you want to tell them about how we're important business people? Because what we do at the hotels now twice between last week and this week.
I finally converted Sorg into having things delivered to the hotel.
Yes,
Because we're
that's
important
right.
business people.
Yes, we are.
So we don't have to go out to the Amazon locker and go all over our college campus and try to figure out which building we're in.
Okay,
We can
that
just go
was
to
an
the front
issue
desk.
today, yes. Okay, two things. First of all, the reason I had to take them to the hotel, because there are things that were not allowed to be in the hotel in the Amazon locker, like a monopod was too big, and I forgot that I needed to order tarps for this week. So because we cover the equipment at night and everything like that in the tent, just rainstorms sometimes overnight. There were some bad ones last time that actually we had some issues with the equipment the next day, but they disappeared in the middle of the day, and we're like, what happened? Like, did they blow away? I don't know. They were just like there in the side, and then they weren't, so I had to buy new tarps. So that was interesting. So I have more coming to the front desk tomorrow, and I really hope it says tarps on the outside, and it's just like, what are you doing up there in your room? So, we can't find our Amazon locker because the address just like you can't figure anything out, and it wasn't even where the Amazon locker was, and that's the problem sometimes. You're on a campus, and we found, what was it? Was he not
Campus security.
A security safety officer of the college, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, where's the Amazon locker? And he gave us like the go this way, and the first hall's this, and the second hall's this, and the third hall's this, and the fourth hall's this, and that's the one you want. I was like, thank you. So I get to go back tomorrow because I have more stuff coming in, I'm pretty sure, to that locker. So so that's how traveling works. I know when we were at Auto Drive, Scotty was taking video of me using the Amazon locker or for his wife, because he hadn't seen them before over on University of Michigan. I also went into several buildings the first time I found those in University of Michigan, by the way. I couldn't find them, and they're just like out back beside. They had like a giant cage fencing that apparently they test drones in or something, and it was out beside a ping pong table, because University of Michigan, I guess. So that's I hope it's an unboxing. It's this is what we do, and there was a lot of stuff, and we were butted up against Baja, so I had no preparation mentally for this, unfortunately. But I mean, we got a lot of it together. I mean, we're not unprepared, but just took me a second, and thankfully I have resources for what I need. So
I mean, it's technology on the road. You go on the road to do something, you're going to need something, and imagine before Amazon had deliveries, like not necessarily before Amazon, but before Amazon, you could say, I need this delivered tomorrow or later today, and Amazon would deliver it to you. Which I'm sure you experience. It's like, oh, I got to find the nearest store. Oh, they're closed.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere else I can go to?
Absolutely. And I feel like I've kind of, since 2016 doing this job, doing the traveling, I feel like I've kind of experienced that evolution, right? Bless you. And to a point of like, okay, I just double checked, Amazon lockers launched in 2011. They've obviously become more and more prevalent and in smaller towns, right? In Adrian, Michigan, for instance, right? But there's still things that will trip you up. It's like, okay, where's the nearest one? Okay, we're really out here for this event, especially when we're using motocross tracks and things, right? Like, we're still driving sometimes 30 minutes to whatever track from like anything that resembles civilization for a hotel or something that doesn't seem scary. so you're dealing with that kind of situation, or like, I had something shipped in. I was like, oh, we'll do Brooklyn, Michigan, because there was nothing, last month near where we were, and it was like, oh, wait, where's your locker? We're at Ace Hardware, and they're like, oh, it's that desk there. I'm like, what do you mean it's that desk? And I look at the thing. I was like, oh, it was sent UPS to this store for a pickup. So, and even little things like sometimes I'll order things and just be like, I'm going to order this because I think I might need it when I get on site, go on site and realize, oh, this is the situation. Okay, you actually have this connection, blah, 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 blah. I'll just leave it in locker and let it refund. Katie, I did something really weird last week where I couldn't find a cord on the way out. I just like this we need a specific cord to make the audio work for the award ceremony at Baja. And I know that. And things were recently rearranged in the studio. Not bad, just things didn't end up where I expected them, and I just didn't have time to find it. So I was like, well, it's $10 cord. I'll order it. We're flying in, and I was not deliverable. And it looked like it was going to like a local grocery store right across from our hotel. And I was like, well, I can't mess with this. I ordered it twice more to 2 different lockers in the same area, other than that one. A Wawa and something else. And I was like, we're going to see who gets here. And we're going to pick one up. And everything else goes back, and you get refunded in whatever the case, right? It's kind of nice, it has that convenience, and it makes my job easier than being like, the other answer is there a Guitar Center? And how far is it? And is it closed an hour after my site ends? And I can never make it to it. So, that's something we've had to do several times, and we still have to do it if it's like, oh no, this thing is tomorrow. They just told it this. We realized, oh, you brought this setup. That's not what we expected, and then you're trying to do the patchwork to make everything work. So, but that's, there's always something. There's always something like that, or we're on something, we drop a TV that we use for our monitors, and it's like, somebody go to Walmart, get another one, things like that. So, it's been really, really interesting, between that or, hey, I want to grab a bunch of stuff from Walmart, just go do the pickup, think about it in the morning. It'll be ready by the time we get back in the evening, so we're not like traipsing through, like tired after a day in the dirt and the sun or the rain and the cold or whatever it was, and doing that kind of thing. So yeah, that's a little insight into what we do here. It's the last one of these trips of the season. I think we got Baja in October, a couple other events that are up in the air that we're getting dates for coming in. Site visits, things like that. But so yeah, it's this is how we roll, man. So, Katie, what would you like to bring up for your awesome thing of the week?
Well, one, you should have came down here because the lighting is wonderful.
It is great up there. Look at that.
Look how nice.
You look a lot better. I just look like I'm in a layer down here.
You do. You look like you're in somebody's basement.
Which is funny since we're opposite.
Yeah. And so I have knockaround sunglasses, which I've been using other types of sunglasses on these trips because I can't, things happen. I don't like to buy really expensive sunglasses. And so this brand in particular caught my eye because my friend has it and she has a Pride set. And this is the black pair, which is perfect for everything here. And I like that they're polarized and they cut out a lot of the light, and it's not, I've run into some other brands where they used to be better at blocking out the actual light, and now they're not. Like, I'm finding myself, like, these are blocking out anything. So I do like these ones much better on site. And they do some pretty sweet collaborations. And for example, I'm wearing my Hello Kitty pair, and there's a couple of different designs of the Hello Kitty pair. And then I gave you 2 different links. This is like the knockaround, so you can go, all kinds of different colors and styles, and shapes. And check out the other 2 links I sent you. I wonder what they could be.
Working on it.
Man.
Oh no. Sorry, it takes an extra second here to share on this interface. So
okay.
You sent me this one, a Ninja Turtles knockarounds. Okay. Are these prescription by chance? Can you get them in prescription?
I am probably, yep. If you go down, see prescription RX. So they're a little more expensive when you get a prescription pair, obviously, yeah. But
okay, all right. Now we're talking. Okay.
But most of them, are they different colors? Whoa.
Yeah, I think you do have some options here.
Oh, they're all the
they're
different ones.
kinds.
Okay.
So I think this is just a listing of which ones they have on RX. Like there's a South Park one, for instance. There's a Grateful Dead one. What was that? Like Baltimore, I think.
Shark
Yeah.
Week.
Shark Week.
Mhm.
There's my Ninja Turtle ones. There you go. So and you
There's,
can get your. Mhm.
Oh, so there's like NBA teams, there are NHL teams. You know, if you want, Penguins are on there. Major League Baseball,
Nice.
get Pirate sunglasses.
And I know I'm going to be a little more expensive because I do have like the what we call the not the transitions, but the you know,
They have
the
single
stuff.
vision and progressive.
Bifocal.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Progressive,
yeah.
yes. So you have, oh man, you have a lot of ones that I'm interested in here. So let's see here. The next one is a Transformers set. Hello, I think I have something to look forward to here. So this
These are
does not
amazing.
seem to have an RX version, so sad for me, but still there's a lot of great options in here. So at least I got my turtles. So, and then you said there's one more here, right?
No, that's just it.
That
The
was,
regular.
no,
I think it's-
I saw those two, and I saw there was a Hello Kitty, so I added that link.
Oh, okay. So there you go. There's the Hello Kitty ones. Boom. There
they're
you go.
adorable.
They're
Yeah,
nice. I did notice these earlier when we were driving out here that you
Mm-hmm.
had some cool Hello Kitty ones that I did not recall. So, and actually that's yours right here, right? So there you go. Awesome.
and they do have, and the Pride set benefits the Trevor Project. So they have a few different versions of that, and which is the one my friend introduced me to first, and great, and they're lightweight and they're quality, and like I said, they've kind of become my go-tos for buying sunglasses now.
Awesome. I love it. So that's knockaround.com if you want to check those out. Some really cool options for sunglasses for you out there.
It's an
So
easy
go-
life instead of a hard knock life. It's an easy.
Yeah, that's right. Nice. I love it. Dave Potter, what is your awesome thing?
Well, before I do that, I did get a pair of those ones with the marathon. They bundled a pair of knockarounds when you registered for certain things, and really nice glasses. Really nice glasses. So what I have is a new camera app from Adobe. And they're not considering it a camera app. They're considering it a kind of an experimental lab, if you will. So it
Okay.
is free. You don't have to have an Adobe login or anything Adobe subscription related. The idea, it's all computational photography.
Okay.
But it's kind of, well, I think I did the wrong thing. I did. I'm sorry.
It's not Project Violet?
No. It's not Project Violet. It's go back to Adobe Labs, the link there, and go to Adobe Labs.
I don't think I have that in here, sir.
Okay. No. If you go to back to where it says Project Violet,
Oh, I see.
yeah, and you click
Okay.
Adobe Labs, and it's actually Indigo.
Gotcha.
Project
Gotcha.
Indigo, it's
All right,
the
we're in
PI.
there now. Okay.
Okay.
This is Project Indigo on iPhone. There you go.
So it's what it does. It's computational, but what they were trying to do is not make it look computational, for lack of a better term. So the way it works is you have the camera open, you hold it up, and it's continually taking pictures. You hit the shutter button, and then it says, okay, that's the end. Now we're going to go back 30 frames and then merge them all together. So you can get very clear. It reduces the noise, does a real good job with reducing noise, but doesn't make it look. If you ever seen like HDR photos where it has that over pushed, and you lose the highs and the lows, and it kind of looks fake. They do a really good job with their processing, and they'll push out one that is both RAW, Adobe RAW, and JPEG. And if you have Lightroom Mobile installed on your phone, you just click the button and it opens it up in Lightroom Mobile for you to do some editing there. But it does, like I said, it does a really good job with making it so it can fix a lot, and it has an automatic mode and a lot of manual. So if you go down below, you can actually click on it and do a lot of manual editing. This was a photo I took of Steel Curtain.
The roller coaster,
From-
Kennywood.
Roller coaster cable from across the river, by the entrance of the steel mill across the river.
Because it's the Edgar Thompson plant down there,
The
right?
Edgar
US
Thompson
Steel.
plant. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
And and that's 25x. So that's not only that's digital.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Really, it's not. But you look at it, and if you kind of zoom in on the picture, the structure itself, it's not. It doesn't have that over zoomed look where the yellow superstructure is.
And I'm not even pulling up the full quality. I don't have the download on this. It's
Yeah,
just whatever I
and you
loaded
can
on the
see
web.
it looks really good
Mhm.
in terms of what it can do. The other picture I have in there is the 1x view to kind of give a perspective on how far away I was.
Give me 1 second.
And
there you go.
I did.
Oh wow, off in the distance.
There it is. Yep. And yeah, it's more than just cropping, and even the 1x, you can see it does a really good job with, again, it adds, it's sharp without being overly sharp. And there's a couple other features they add too. So if you take the photo and you use their combined raw JPEG, they have an AI, a special AI lab part where it'll take out a lot of the extra graininess. And again, it takes it, you look at it, you're like, oh, it looks nicer, and it cleans it up, which is, again, real nice. And then they have a reflection remover, which is really mind-blowing. I took a picture of myself in front of the phone, in front of my computer today. Reflection, just like the screen was reflecting off my glasses. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can actually see the screen in my glasses. And it took the reflection completely out of my glasses, but did not mess it, like my eye. There's no like artifacts or anything that makes that you can see my eyes, so it didn't do anything there. And I tried it, like a picture of our outside where we have like some frosted glass by our front door. It just took the reflection out completely and looks natural. And basically this is their way to test things out, and then they'll put like the anti-reflection. It'll be something in Lightroom eventually, where that'll be an additional thing. But this is the way they can test it out with a lot of people trying it out. But as a camera app, it almost makes exterior lenses not necessary. Well, like there's Reflex. They make camera apps, but they also make lenses for your phone. And they made a lens for your phone which attaches to the 5x to make it a 10x. But you compare that. Oh, I think I'm muted here.
Right. We didn't
similar
get
to
to this
that,
last
yes.
Yeah, we didn't get this last week. Vivo telephoto was something I pulled up and I wanted your opinion on. So you're saying something like this, and if you're on audio, this is, again, it's like a, I don't know, it's probably like a several inches kind of thing, and I'm not signed in for this article, but you get the idea. You can see the visual there. So like you're saying, like this would replace having a physical thing. Now obviously there are reasons, we have this discussion all the time on video about like doing things in post versus doing it in camera. So
and the advantage of that is you could do video with it. You don't have to use the app. For Adobe, we're using the Adobe. You have to use the Adobe app.
Yep.
But if you don't want to have it, or if you just don't have the attachment, but also Greg, who was on last week, he has the attachment from Reflex.
Yeah.
So he uses the 10x computational with the 10x
So he's
with the
combining
extra
them.
lens.
Oh,
So
that's
he's
that,
combining
yeah.
them, and it's clear. It looks like a photo. It does not look zoomed in. It just looks like you have a zoom, and no weird issues around the outside. Where I know lenses, if you super zoom, you can get little issues with aberrations. It just turns out really good.
That's cool. So again, it's making and ideally making things more accessible for people that probably can't pay for those, extra things or even just have them. I know I grab attachments from my phone all the time. I have over several years, and just when the occasion comes where they're handy, never have it on hand. Had a microphone. Somebody asked me last week, I'm like, do you have a microphone for a camera? I'm like, I stopped bringing it because I never use it, because it's one of those like, well, I have the big one if I'm intending to do that. And if I'm not intending to do that, I don't bring a bunch of extra stuff from my phone, like it's always a battle. But if you're going out intentionally to use something like this, because that's the camera you have, I think that's tremendous. So no, it's a cool preview. Hey, as a fellow Shutterbug dutters, like, what do you think about this app and what they're bringing in from Adobe this time?
I already downloaded it.
Well, you take. I see you taking
And
pictures. You
there's
taking
the
pictures.
answer.
You taking pictures of
trying.
people in the lobby with it.
No, I was trying to get out the window, but the window's not super clean, so it's just catching all the.
yeah. Well,
Like-
we're in Michigan, pure Michigan. There you go.
Creeper mode.
You're just sniping people out there, right? So.
But yeah, like I said, you have on the bottom where it has the 1x, I think there's 2, and then 5x or 3x depending on what lens you have, and then 10.
Yeah.
Ah, look at the bottom.
Oh wait, hold on a second. Gotcha.
Yep.
There you go.
And there's and you notice there's a histogram on top.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a histogram if you use those, and on the bottom there is a night mode.
So that's the video. So and again, it's doing that out of that, right?
Right.
So-
Well,
I'm not taking any photos. I'm just
right.
holding up the screen.
Yeah, no, she's just holding.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just seeing the screen there. So there we go.
It looks like a selfie that you've taken, and then you started moving, and they started flip. I couldn't. It's been a long drive and a long day. So.
Indicator and thumbnail shows how many images are being processed.
Yeah. So if you try to take multiple photos in a row, because it is a little delay. It's not as quick as the built-in one.
Sure.
But
But if you take a couple photos, it'll take a little bit of time, and then it'll show that way.
Cool. I like
it was
it.
a terrible
Awesome.
photo of myself. I'm not going to use that for an example.
So that is the, oh God, what was it called again? The Adobe something.
Yeah, it's the Adobe. I'm trying to find it here. It's not, like I said, I put the wrong link.
It's
in.
not Project Violet. It is
Indigo.
It is
Indigo.
Project Indigo on iPhone. Project Violet, on the other hand, is a multi-track
video
timeline with
processing,
top editing tools, professional content on the move. So they're trying to make another. They're trying to make another.
CapCut clone.
Yeah,
kind
CapCut
of,
kind of thing. It looks like.
without I think the audio.
Yeah.
Where CapCut has all the audio already done. Where that's
Sure.
not quite like that.
Yeah. So, all right, cool, very cool. So that is your awesome things of the week. Insert sounder here in your heads. Thank you everybody that did support the show over on Patreon. That makes us want to do this from a hotel room in Adrian, Michigan, apparently. Thank you everybody that support the show. Brian Crawford, Cynthia Klosky, John DeGore, and Dave Podner down there. Thank you for supporting the show. You guys help us go with this. We'll be back in the studio for the foreseeable future after this week. And we'll get back to it, and you'll have all your Patreon extras that we do when we're in studio and everything too. So thank you for your patience with us, obviously, as we kind of roll through this interesting time with our travels and things like that. So let's get into a story that I don't think we touched on last week, and I know this is one of those things, but I thought this is the most Pittsburgh tech story ever here. So I saw this come across, of course it's on the local KDK news, but there's a story about Kraft Heinz Uber Eats team up for a program designed to show consumers which restaurants serve Heinz products. Katie, I think that's helpful when we're on the road.
Yeah.
Because how many times we're at some restaurants and we're like, what is this stuff?
Yeah. Is there anything not fried? Is there anything?
Yeah, well, also, yeah, is there anything not fried? So this is a tremendous problem on the road in a lot of these places. So, especially up in the neck of the woods we were at last time, where it just seemed like there was nothing but bars that you could eat at.
If they are fried, you can. At least you know you'll have good ketchup with it. I think that's the most important fact, because it's nothing worse than being somewhere that's just like not so good ketchup.
Yep. Interesting team up. This is a brand team up, obviously. We care more because we're from Pittsburgh, where Heinz is from, and Heinz represent. So I mean, Dave, what do you think of this?
And it is cute. It's a cute little matchup.
Mm.
Even though, and being nice, Heinz pretty much pulled out of Pittsburgh, outside of the corporate offices. But
I
it's still,
know.
but it's still nice. It's still nice. Some of us are old enough to remember when the Heinz factory on the north side still produced ketchup, and you could smell the vinegar from across the street.
I always heard stories about my grandmother went to the school, my elementary or high school over there, and yeah, they would smell it like every day, especially on those hot days.
And I have to say, are you talking the one that was almost directly across the street? Is
Uh,
that the one she's talking
from
about?
from what I'm told, I believe so.
I went to 7th and 8th grade there.
Ah!
They reopened it up
Well,
in the
we already
mid
did-
80s.
We've already discussed our multiple connections, including
Yes.
the fact that you have connections with Sheridan neighborhood of Pennsylvania, where my grandma, my grandfather and grandmother raised my mother and family there until they moved out to Moon Township. So, yeah, we have some there's some we have some interweaving happening here, because that's the most Pittsburgh thing, and I'm not even personally from Pittsburgh, so originally. So, oh geez. Anyways, Katie, I think I shared this with you last week, but on our travels, I really appreciated this story. We have Potter. Have you been to the Denver airport? Are you aware of how weird it is over there?
No, I have not been to, but I'm very familiar with all the demonic stuff from the Denver airport.
And I didn't even know about this demonic thing. I'm just like, it looks like an Aztec ruin when you go to the tram system. And I've never gotten out of it's always, you never leave the Denver airport. It's always a connecting flight somewhere to the West Coast, right? Or back to Middle America or whatever it is, right? So I've spent a lot of time there. But I didn't realize how much this was a thing until apparently there's some construction going on at the Denver airport. I haven't been for a while. I've avoided it this season, thankfully. No, I feel like I did hit it sometime this season, but not here nor there. So apparently, while they're constructing, they are also having some fun with things, including, and I'll read these here for the audio version. A little thing with one of those Aztec heads says, "What's happening behind this wall? Gargoyle breeding grounds, a top secret Freemason meeting, an improved airport experience." Go to denfiles.com, which is supposedly, which just basically just talks about the construction. They talk about the weird
Yes.
horse outside that I've never seen.
The weird horse is one thing, because it's basically Denver colors. It's orange and blue, just like the Broncos.
Got red
like the football
eyes,
team.
though.
But yeah, it's a little demonic looking.
Yeah, 32-foot tall Mustang statue that greets you. I had never seen that. Some more of this. Hold on, I gotta go to the tweeters in order to see the rest of them. There's more that I've seen, but here's the ones I have. This is it looks like an angel. And it says streamline security or more secrets, for instance. And if I can get around this to get to the other one.
Well, I'll also say one thing that was completely by accident, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Look up aerial photos of Denver Airport.
Hold on, let me finish this sign and we'll look that up real quick.
Okay.
Yes, Den's got some secrets, and there's a picture of an alien shushing you. Since the airport's opening in 1995, there have been endless rumors and theories. People say our underground tunnels lead to secret meeting facilities for the world's elite. Our blue horse is thought of to be cursed. Some believe we are connected to the New World Order, Freemasons, and are home to lizard people, and learn the truth. And there was several more that like about the lizard. I think there's like a lizard a lizard person in a business suit or something in one of them, and everything like that. So what did you want me to look up here?
Well,
then
okay. Now, again, you're looking at an airport where you have to have the runways in certain locations, right?
Right.
If you look at the Denver airport from above, it looks like a particular shape, which is actually illegal to be shown in Germany for particular reasons.
What? Hold on, maybe I need to zoom out more. Oh my God, I'm not showing that again.
Again, they weren't doing it on, but between that, the demonic horse, the tunnels going underneath.
That looks kind of, I mean, not entirely, but like,
No,
I mean, I'm
but
looking. I mean,
yeah.
is it different if I look on it? Like, I'm not on the terrain view here. Let me see what it looks like when I do terrain. Oh yeah, that's more. Okay. Oh, that's uncomfortable. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, there's lots. It's just, I don't think it's one thing.
to
It's all
be-
these things added up.
Right, and to be fair, that symbol is connected to other things,
Right, and
But
honestly,
that,
if you look at the
especially if
pattern,
you do, if it's not this, it's
Yeah.
it's okay. It's enough of that. Katie's just drinking.
No, I'm laughing in my head because you were like, "Oh, I went to the Denver airport this year." I was like, "No, you sent 2 of our team members to the Denver airport and sent us through Midway."
Ooh. Are you sure they're the same members that came back who left? Are they body doubles?
Well, I'm
Could
working
be.
with one of them this
Did the
weekend, so-
Illuminati get to them?
Oh, it's been a little bit
Again,
finicky since I came back.
pareidolia, and pattern, then the human pattern finding is amazing, scary, but truly amazing what people can find patterns are in when they really don't exist.
Yes. We need to move on. Dave, please tell me what's happening with Honda before I get freaked out even more.
Sure.
Or will this add to the freak it outness?
No. This is normal.
Okay.
So there's a lot of companies are always trying to get around regulations. So
How about that?
shocking, isn't it? So Honda, and apparently this is getting popular, apparently in bigger cities first, and it'll probably trickle down, where you need little vehicles to deliver stuff, and you don't necessarily want to send an entire Amazon truck, and parking can be a bit of a pain.
Sure.
And if you have a motorcycle or something larger, you have to get it regulated, and there's laws and everything else. But if there's pedals on it, and it goes under a certain speed, it's considered an electrified bike. So Honda has created and rolled out this little transport where you can see it's an electrified bike, and there's pedals on it, and there's a person in front.
But
So-
it's a 4-wheeled vehicle. It's got it's open, but there's a glass roof in front to it, and it's got a big kind of storage box on the back of it.
Yep.
It looks there's an SUV beside it. It looks like a mid-side SUV beside it for scale, and it looks like a little bit taller and everything. So
It
and that's all.
it's a
Is that all
little
the
bit
pictures we have on
Yeah,
here?
that's all there is. Yeah.
Aw.
It's a little bit smaller than a Mini Cooper from front to back. And it's battery powered, and the batteries can be swapped. So, it runs low on battery, you go in, battery pops out, battery pops in. You don't have to wait for it to charge. It's small enough to have removable batteries.
So it's an electric, it's an electric bike.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's like an
Interesting.
e-bike. It's like an e-bike on steroids.
So
because
we're taking
legally-
the design, and it is so interesting because after all the design discussions I've been listening to the last 2 months out here doing these jobs, so they're taking this design and pushing it towards a line without crossing it, so they don't get other. This is like pushing it to. I love the fact that if you look at the Tower of Terror at Disney World, it is like. It's something like 200 feet. You got to put a red light on it, and they're like 199 feet, whatever that number is. They're like a foot or two short, just so they don't have to put a light on the damn thing. Like you design it up to the barrier, And this is kind of what they're doing here. Like, can we put a battery in? Okay, that doesn't cross the line. Like, God, I feel like this is when students do something wild and trying to get through tech inspection at Baja, right? Like, okay, where are we pushing this design up to the line without going over, kind of situation. So I love the vibe of that.
There is the old NASCAR saying, if you're not cheating, are you really trying?
That's a NASCAR saying? I did not know that. I think I don't think I hear that from wrestling.
Well, that too, but that's an old NASCAR where it's like, okay, we can do this. Okay, how close can we get to that? Where even if they catch us, we're not really breaking the rules. And a lot of these things are, well, larger cities are like, okay, here's the regulation. Okay, so if it's battery powered and goes under a certain speed and it has pedals, doesn't say they're can be useful, it just has pedals, it's considered an e-bike. So it's not regulated. Hey, we can build something. And like I said, this thing, it goes at most 12 miles an hour. So it's basically like that. And the small one can hold 320 pounds, the big one 650.
Okay.
So again, this is your last mile or even less sub-mile of we need to get something here, but we don't want to put, size-wise, especially cramped cities, especially Europe, where streets are even worse than they are in the U.S. You need to get something there to deliver, or you get a city where, like New York or a lot of cities in Europe, where, oh, you bring a car in here, that's a charge. You have a congestion charge for any vehicles. Well, e-bikes are not covered. Oh, we don't allow motor vehicles here. Well, this isn't a motor vehicle, so you can just bring your little vehicle in here and unload it and reload it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think having something smaller, a little more, movable. If it does kind of go to a bike lane, that is less congestion. That's ideally. I'm getting into something else. Ideally, less congestion. I have some. I'm going to sit an image search for this device. It's officially the a Fastport eQuad is what it's called if you want to look it up. And I'm just seeing. I don't know. I just get randomly. I get a Honda for ATV.
But
I'm
Honda,
going down nothing.
I remember an ad back in the day where it was trying to make fun of other. It was a Chevy ad making fun of other companies because other companies made other things other than cars, and that to me is actually a strength.
Yeah, diversify.
You can have a Honda lawnmower.
But also, like, what you learn from one,
they're all kind of related.
Right, what you learn from one vertical. I remember we had Volvo as a sponsor, and they were doing some custom things just kind of for fun side projects as part of being part of the Baja sponsorship. And one of them was they made a 6-seater ATV, and the hood they put on it, they said was a shrunk down version of a truck that was about to be released that wasn't even announced at that point. And they took the design, shrunk it down, fabricated it, and put it on this car, and it kind of in confidence on their side. It was like, yeah, this is from the thing we haven't even talked about. Like, nobody's seen it yet, turns out. Like, so again, that's like, and how many things does Volvo do? Volvo, Mack Truck, ATVs to cars and trucks, right? I'm looking at Oshkosh is representing out here, and their Oshkosh is like military vehicles and JLG lifts, and I don't even know, Katie, I can't even think of half of the brands that they're associated with when we went out there, when they have the banners out here and stuff, right? So like it's the diversity is king when it comes to innovation. Who's behind it and what you're doing, because now you got different departments going in different ways. They can be like, hey, we did this, can you solve your problem over here? Boom, there you go. So it's beautiful. I love it. Yeah. So yeah, I've been looking at your "If No, You're Not Cheating," attributed to Richard Petty in a 1972 newspaper article. The quote was also hanging in apparently in the 1980 Raiders. I didn't see which city the Raiders were in at that time. Probably Oakland. So the Raiders locker room was hanging the sign, and obviously also connected to Eddie Guerrero in WWE. So,
Lie, cheat, and steal.
as you will. Well, I think that's a good point to end this. We, you know what, Katie? Maybe we need one of those transport e-bikes for our getting us around the course. You know,
Yeah. Seriously.
I'm getting a nice electric e-bike to take our stuff when you know, we can't get a golf cart or Kabuto out here. Or actually Honda. Actually, all those four-wheelers are Hondas too. The ones that aren't Polarises, at least. So, but Dave, thanks for joining us and sounding the same as you probably do every week. I don't know. It's all going to sound different because Riverside and it kind of captures different. And I'm just going to stick this back in the case and have it for this weekend with the Starlink. Which will get some use out of this week, of course. It's kind of our backbone for things. But anyways, thank you. iPhoneography podcast. And again, your co-host was really great. If you didn't check that out, go check out last episode of the AwesomeCast. We talked about WWDC and what you guys were excited about out of that as your very iPhone-centric show, obviously. Katie is katiedudas.com, and you can follow the social medias from there. And you have some adventures from this week and this week, last week, and this week, and beyond. Because you were wearing a wedding dress 2 weeks ago, which I'm sure has a tremendous comments about what's going on there. For 412 Thrive. Who knows what else is you're going? I don't know. You like the events that I'm hearing. She takes meetings on the car rides usually, and, to these events, and I'm just like, I just heard like planning for like 4 or 5 different events that sound just ridiculous and all over the place, and I love it. So thank you for that look into your world as far as that goes. So yes, at Sorgatron on social media. I actually just posted pictures for last week's Baja this afternoon, and we're having fun with. Where's my little guy at? Oh wait, hold on. There's my little guy at. He's gonna pop up on the Mayhem show for reasons that will be obvious for that show. But our little iguana friend here. So, a little puppet iguana friend that we've been playing with all day. So go check out the Sorgatron stories. But if you're catching this in the Wednesday morning, they should still be up there, and we'll probably do some more posts from that because we're having a lot of fun with this guy. I figure it'd be a fun thing with it, and there's a wrestling reason that we have one of these things. Stay tuned to the Mayhem show for that one. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Katie. Thank you. I don't know if we have a chat room. I have an old iPad that apparently does not have a new version of iOS to get all the features, so I have no chat room in the Facebook, but it's streaming, so thank you if you were in there. Sorry we weren't responding. It's not working out the way. How do I hold it? I'm getting in camera. There we go.
On the shoulder. On the shoulder.
There you go. Oh yeah, actually no, he stays really well on the shoulder. It's actually pretty incredible. So and thank you for helping me stall while I look for the outro here. Thank you. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week.
Just wait.
That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Oh, where's the other? No. How about this?
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.
And that's the show. Bye, everybody. How do I hang out? How do I stop? There we go.